If I could, at the stage that I can do Fashion Week calendar and the F1 calendar, I'm gone. That's just favorite. Like, if you see that happening, just know that I'm no more in the normal employment bracket.
I said something like that. Like, if I go to America, I have to go to an NBA game. I have to go to a battle rap event. And I have to go to a stand-up comedy event. Then I'm good.
Yeah. The NBA. I think the battle one. I never thought of that.
That battle rap stuff looks so entertaining.
Yeah.
It's just weird that it's only men like all sweating on each other. Like, guys, just give each other space. We can all go, oh, but we don't need to be next to each other for that.
It's probably why, like, when you see like Diddy and
Busta
Rhymes and them, like, they're at the top there.
Yeah,
because they can't be like within.
Yeah,
like,
but it looks so. I'm trying to understand why women don't like battle rap. Because I've seen women try watch it and they don't connect like the way men connect.
Again, you're assuming, Ellen. You don't.
No, you're
Come
not
now,
assuming.
you can see.
No.
The brand says I don't watch that.
No, it just doesn't. I've attended.
You've attended, interesting.
South African.
Okay,
and the level is not.
Yeah,
the level is not the same. But I've definitely attended South African ones, and you are there during inside the people, and it's just ball sack sweat the whole time. You know, there's no time.
I can see you with a straight face, just like.
You're just like
ball sack sweat
the whole time.
But the Americans got it on lock. The environment just looks like this is intense.
Do you know that what's the big one right now? What's it called again?
URL.
Yeah. Drake is an investor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Especially at the stage where they've got like a whole app and everything now that holds and houses the content and merch and all of that. Yeah.
And they handled it like they handled the game like a boxing industry, because I hear both rappers get paid. It's like, okay, this is really. They rehearse the battles as well. I heard one of them speak about.
Yeah, so both rappers get paid to come into the quote unquote fight to the battle, and then the winner gets the prize money. So those two things are not the same. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It must be heart wrenching though when you in the battle. And the person did enough research on you and pulls out things you didn't expect. Mentioning your mom, your dead friend.
That stuff is
like,
hectic.
Where did you find that information?
That stuff is so hectic. Like, sometimes you hear some really crazy things. And like, yo, you guys went there.
Yeah, here we wouldn't, we can't make it here. Here afterwards, when I'm like after a while, because we don't have it.
Like sometimes I'm just like, yo, is they really living alive here? Like, that's how deep they go.
Yeah.
I feel like someone's dying after this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you go so deep, we talk about someone's father and this and the third.
Yeah.
And then like, yo.
But I guess that's what you gotta expect, that someone who's passionate about the game will do research on you. And they'll find out things that will make you unsettled. And you got to just deal with the fact that they're mentioning your son that you're not looking after, and now the world knows you're not looking after your son.
Which is, we haven't done the intro.
Yeah, we'll say hi. Hi. Welcome to Before You Weekend. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Before You Weekend. Happy Friday. It is almost spring. In Ellen's words, it's almost December.
Thank you.
Yes.
We're here with our friends, Calvin and Ellen.
How's everyone doing?
Hey.
No, I'm good. I'm in pink today for the energy. I'm introducing spring, as you can see.
Are you introducing Messi or spring? Isn't Messi's jersey pink? I haven't seen what the jersey design looks like. I've just seen the jersey.
It's the Inter Miami.
Yeah, isn't it that?
This is Barcelona.
I didn't see the emblem.
Yeah, they took it from. Yeah.
Okay.
Barcelona did it first.
So you're getting ready for spring as well. You're in pink.
Yeah. You got to get into the vibes. I'm trying to re-up on shorts. I should have done that in winter. I know, Ellen. I know. I should have done.
We're waiting.
Yes.
We talked about this last year.
Yeah.
Thank you, TK. I mean,
I know
you chose today.
I just wear shorts all the time. If I can, I'll wear shorts.
You prefer shorts. Yeah, I'm in between, but I like if they fit comfortably. But also, I get into like very serious rooms, so shorts don't really work for me like that.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
the problem.
You should just try and put your
And
leg
it's
on the
such a,
table.
it's a terrible stigma though. Like, why can't I walk into the boardroom in shorts? Right?
Especially in the space.
But I
you're
don't
in.
make enough money
Yeah.
to do that. I guess.
Yeah, not yet. You get there.
It's like
Actually, you're the fashion guy between us three here. What are the colors for spring?
Black.
Because I know winter was pastel colors.
I'm
How
saying
can you
like
be wearing black in spring?
like it's all day, every day.
Yeah, black is
black,
amazing.
white, grey. That's where I play.
In spring.
If I wear anything else, like I'm so unscented. Yeah, last week I wore green and I was like, oh my God, can I just change? It's black all the way through. I can't.
That's interesting. What are the colors?
no, the colors don't change, guys. The colors are the same.
Colors for winter changes, yeah? This year was
From
pastel
what?
colors. I forgot last year. Last year was like your autumn colors.
What are the colors before that?
I don't care.
No, brother. The colors really do just stay the same. It's just, you know what it really is? It's like what you decide to wear. It's
Yeah.
not really like, oh, this is a winter color, this is a whatever. And then eventually everybody gets comfortable with wearing like earthy colors during
Oh my
winter,
God.
you know. But you could wear earthy colors during spring,
Yeah.
earthy colors during, because
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it really is the material you're wearing, actually. The
But-
material and the piece that you're wearing. So if I come through with like the shorts and I throw on like a button shirt and it's hanging nicely, whatever, in an earthy color, I'm in spring for real.
But then you've got like these events like Pantone Sundays, and then they're like,
Yeah.
this is the color for this Sunday, and I'm like, yeah, I wanted to come, but now
Yeah, sure.
you're
Events
dictating
like,
what I must
events
wear,
like Groover's Prayer,
what color I must wear.
you know, they give you like a theme to wear.
That stuff
Yeah.
makes me mad.
What does it make you mad?
Why? Just let me enjoy the event with what I want to wear.
What is it?
No, but
Brown
it's-
sugar
it's
this time,
It's
right?
energy curated. though.
And I'm like, it's nice, but yeah.
It's
Who's
energy-
turning 21 again? Why do we need to all wear the same colors? That's weird, guys.
No, I feel like that about white. I do. I feel
Those
like
white parties
I feel like we're done. Like it's
on the
over.
1st of
There's
September.
No ways. Like you can't still be doing that in 2020.
Yeah, it's not gonna
They are they still doing it?
Yeah, they are.
Oh well, okay.
Do you have an all white outfit?
No, I've I break my black with white or grey, and that's it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's accessories in color. But I don't like any other color. I like my black.
Like I don't have an all white outfit, and it stresses me every time. They're like, "Yeah, it's an all white." I'm like, "Gosh."
The problem with all whites is you got to make sure no one touches you or you don't spill. It's like now you got to be cautious with what you're wearing. That's you working at the event basically.
Get what you're saying.
You probably usually cautious of not spilling on yourself, but because it's white now, you just extra. I don't know.
And 9 out of 10, a mistake happens. 9 out
Yeah.
of 10,
Yeah.
something still happens.
For my age, like now, the all whites are the jazz things, you know, and that's why I'm like,
Jazz
yeah.
picnics.
Yeah, no.
Jazz picnics.
Yeah, miss me. And then you've got that drum photo where we're all standing like back to back to back. It's fine. It's fine. I won't go.
This is our way of saying if you're going to invite before you week into an event, don't say all. Don't
say
give us
all
uniform.
white. Does it? No, I'm cool with uniform. I'm cool. I respect fashion codes like that. I'm off the all white thing. That's the only one that I just like wrote off. Nah, I'm not with it.
I guess this brings us to a good. I mean, this wasn't part of my list, but with us entering September in the next week, is it next week or
Yeah.
whatever? It's that whole Heritage Month, and what's funny in South Africa is we don't really wear traditional clothes as regular clothing the way the rest of Africans do in their countries. Like in African countries, they're just wearing clothes.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, you came in your Tswana outfit.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
you can't just say I'm wearing clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting. And I don't know if we'll ever get there. And maybe it's because we're the most westernized nation
Yeah.
of Africa.
Yeah, I don't think
And it's
so.
like weird.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Unless you make it like proper like streetwear and stuff.
Because going back to Heritage Day, Heritage Day would have expanded into that.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was a time about Heritage Day where it was just like you know, trying to find the dopest or nicest way to do the heritage fit thing.
Yeah.
And not just do it like, okay, cool, we've been doing it the traditional way, and like I'm trying to find like a really cool way to have like a nice traditional dress or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they said Bride Day.
Yeah.
Going to the pits.
For wood. You see now.
No, but you know what? They've got their own traditions. It's either you've got Scottish lineage or you've got something. Find that something, and then because in school they made us learn about what is it, your coat of armor or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
We don't have that. We've got itagazelo, which is the
I
same
was about to say
thing. But
we
I
do.
mean,
It's the same thing.
we
for sure.
don't have it on a plaque now saying that this is it. On a Bible in the foyer in our house. So they must do that, and then it's still heritage. Go and find what it is, where you come from, and then be proud of that, and then wear accordingly.
Do you have a traditional outfit?
Not Tswana, ironically. I got like other prints from other cultures, but I don't have Tswana.
There's not much there.
Like you have several?
I mean, Tswana only has Swashri. That's the only print we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the traditional, that is.
Oh, you mean like the leather robe and the beads around the neck?
Yeah, there's nothing much for you
I
to
see.
get into there.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't wear that. Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Okay. But maybe we could finesse our outfit. Like I can already see it. Like you
Yeah,
could finesse
put
like
in
a fit.
elements
like,
of.
you take that same material as it looks, and you could do a whole thing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
Are you gonna do that?
No, I could. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the possibility of it. I'm not saying I'm
Don't
going to.
promise the people now.
I'm not promising nothing, my brother. You see that? Because that's a whole thing. Do you have, like, I assume a lot of females, like, have.
I take the material and then I make whatever I want out of it. So the last time I wore something to that effect, I was at a wedding last year, September sometime. And then instead of, like, I took a skirt and it was, the Zulu skirt. I don't know what it's called. Sorry. And I used that design. I just used ethnic, I don't know how else to this thing it, cloth, and then used it and made that kind of design. So it was a Zulu inspired, but it wasn't the exact same thing. So I do that kind of thing. So, and I'm the type of person that will wear it on a regular Tuesday, because it was a discussion that I had with a friend of mine, and I said, I don't see why as South Africans we aren't wearing our traditional wear or something that has to do with our culture every single day. Because if you're Muslim and you wear hijab, that's you, that's normal, and you find even in South Africa, a lot of, whether Johannesburg or in Durban, Indian women will still have their saris on Monday to Monday, and that's fine. So then here, where they found us here, but we are the ones that are like, nah, I'm okay in my, Gucci or my whatever it is. Why? So it actually just takes people just not trying to start a movement. This is just the way I dress.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess,
every single day.
I mean, I guess just back to the conversation we had 2 weeks ago, that we're the most accommodating nation out of all the nations in Africa.
Yeah.
Which could be a positive, but I think there's also a negative to it, that we're too accommodating.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where that chat comes in, even like now with the whole BRICS conversation coming in.
Yes.
You're only as strong as your weakest link. And I keep running back to the fact that we might be the
weakest link, yeah.
in that equation.
We are the entry point into Africa.
Like let's go there. You see that one there? That's where we're
Like
going.
that's
Let's
where
start
you
there.
break it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna break the chain.
Yeah.
Because at the time that BRICS was formed, I wouldn't have said this. They had one of the strongest leaders in the pack, which was Zuma at the time. But now I'm like, tricky. Very tricky. Like, I think you just name a price and he's good.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean,
you get what I'm saying? Like, that's outside of any controversy, conversations, etc.
Yeah.
But where that's concerned, because like he was part of the formation of it, based on where the idea and the concept was going. And we essentially, crazy enough, I don't think people know that, but like we were leading the whole concept of BRICS. And then it died out because Mans didn't really believe in that concept and it wasn't really his. So he kind of like, but now
he's fighting for
kind of
Rupert.
Putin kind of took, what?
He's fighting for Rupert. He's not fighting for South Africa.
Do you get what I'm saying? So that's the big difference. And then like Putin kind of like, yo, we got to continue that way, because the whole narrative of like, obviously what happened in the war and like America continuing to get involved in business that's not theirs, and they're like, yo, we kind of like not trying to have that. So with that, it's like, it continues that notion.
Yeah.
Like, we're two ways.
Yeah.
And that's like the difficult part. Like right now, we've made, like the BRICS conversation has made so much progress. has made so much progress because now we're at the stage in the chapter where it's like, okay, cool, we're throwing out the dollar,
Yeah.
the American dollar.
That's the only one thing, the one positive right now that's standing out.
Yeah.
Like, finally.
So we at that stage in the conversation. And in addition to that, it's like, yo, stay at your house, we'll stay at ours. You know, that's where everybody is. But like I look at it and I'm like, and it's crazy because like they're all here. And I'm like, we're really the weakest link in that equation.
Yeah.
Yep.
So tricky.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And what the 24 countries that applied to be part of BRICS, and so
Yeah.
far they've welcomed Egypt. I mean, not Egypt, Argentina. I forgot what the
I'm
other countries
surprised
were.
about the Egypt chat. I won't lie.
Yeah, Egypt doesn't consider themselves as part of Africa. Which is like,
Yeah,
why do you guys
but-
want to be part of BRICS?
Yeah,
The
now why you
the
wanna?
tide moves, so they're also like,
Oh no, but maybe to their defense, it's because UAE joined BRICS as well, and I wouldn't be surprised if Saudi Arabia wants to join the bandwagon very soon as well.
yeah, okay, got
The
you.
Arabs wanna
I
come in
see,
together.
the Arabs, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah, because definitely Egyptians were like in the Arab camp,
Yeah.
you know, and understandably so. But I think just the denouncing of being African was very wild.
It was
for me.
weird.
It was very wild for me.
I think it's like all the third world countries said, if we come together, we can become a second. We're not trying to be first because now
just
we've got
a young
America's
second.
problems.
Yeah. This clip that I watched, I think like yesterday or today, where this lady from America is like wiling out on the clip. She's like, Americans, you have to wake up. Don't you see what is happening? The BRICS have come together, which is Russia, China, and West Africa. And they've got a West African dollar now. And you guys have to wake. You know what's crazy? It's just like she's saying something that is happening, but she's so misinformed in her information. Her information was like incorrect
Yeah.
in like all the details of
Yeah.
it, and everybody in the comments was just like, "Yo, here's another example of bad education
Yeah.
in America."
I think what's crazy, especially with and correct me if I'm wrong if you guys have more information. It seems like American media is now filled with fear because of BRICS, instead of going, oh, but they're just trying to make sure that the playing field is level.
Yeah.
That's all we're trying to do. We're not trying to overthrow. It's just
Yeah,
you
that's
guys,
what the
you guys have been
comments were
bullying
saying.
everyone else.
Yeah.
We're just saying we can't play this game anymore. This is how it's going to work. And now the TikTokers are going, guys, it's going down in Africa. Don't go to Africa because we're just leveling the playing field.
Yeah.
It must be as cheap for us to fly to America as it is cheap for an American to fly to Africa. That's what we say.
So she says, "Yo, this is where like she tried to calculate to give information of like what this means in our
Yeah.
actual daily lives." So like if you go to like and go wherever and go buy meat for like we used to buy for $7, now it'll be, and she took a calculator. If you calculate it with me, it'll be $385. Everybody just like,
No.
Wait a minute.
No.
When?
like which maths is that?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was like, so that was her thing. Like her rant was like, okay, cool, I'm trying to inform people of what's going on, but her information was just like so left.
Was this on TikTok?
I don't know where the original clip came from,
Okay.
but it was on Twitter. I saw it on Twitter.
On X.
Excuse me,
videos.
on
Yo.
Sorry. Guys, when you see X, the way it's written there, it must tell you, this is X video. This is not.
It tells who. It tells who what.
It's just weird, guys.
No.
That was a stupid name change. But anyway,
Hey. Before you weekend does not.
we do not encourage pornography. My bad.
I'm so done. That's funny. I meant X. I think did you hear what like Elon is actually gonna do with the app? Like that whole app is gonna change.
I know you tried to talk about the block feature thing, but I think the court said you're not allowed to do that. That's a violation of privacy.
Well, he wants to turn into some finance thing.
Oh,
He's gonna WeChat the whole thing, pretty much.
for America. I mean, their financial systems are really backwards, so I can see why he would want to do that because China's doing that in the
Well,
world.
he's not doing it for America. Elon Musk is so global. It's actually very interesting.
Yeah, but you can't apply that practice. Also, it's like the Instagram thing. Instagrammers can now make money when they do Instagram Live. South African Instagrammers can't do that still.
Instagram in America.
Yeah,
Interesting.
if you got like I forgot how many
like
followers.
TikTok.
Yeah,
Like that.
yeah.
Like that.
People can donate to you doing
Oh.
live, but South African creators can't do that yet. And they've been doing that
So-
for months.
So you thinking it's, well, based on information, possibly, it's a getting the financial chat in that country.
Yeah, how do
is a
you?
difficult part.
Yeah, I think he's gonna probably slant it for them first before anyone else.
No, I think most definitely. But like with WeChat, they successfully got that right like some time back.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's specifically for China.
yeah, it could have been implemented here. That's the thing. So because WeChat becomes, or any app like that becomes like a third party app, right? And it's predicated based on who wants to use it. So this app is here. We don't force everybody to use it, but they can, including corporates. So obviously in America, it was like, yo, as a corporate, you could use this for whatever, and it gives you this convenience.
Yeah.
Like when I found out about WeChat, which is crazy, like the WeChat wave in South Africa happened like years back. But like already at that stage when it came out, how it was used in China was like, it's an incredible app. It's really an incredible app. And if we could develop something like that in SA, not that it would be a game changer, it would just be really dope.
I mean, yeah, I get that. I think in light of what you're saying, we still don't have our own version of Bolt or Uber. And we could. There's no reason why we can't.
Or isn't it like, what, InDriver?
Is that ours?
Yeah.
Okay, why did it fail?
You're dealing with, like, I think in SA you're dealing with more than in America. It's an interesting conversation to really have, because you're still going against like the biggest industry, which is the taxi industry. Like already even now, just with the Uber conversation, is not that easy.
Yeah.
It's just that they did it and they didn't realize what was happening.
Yeah.
Then when they realized what was happening, they're like, we gotta come against it, but it was a bit
Yeah.
too late because it was entrenched in like the consumer market. So for you as a South African, and okay, so I've been on a project similar to that, and I can tell you like it is a lot more difficult because you've got to get all those green lights. You got to get so many signatures on that project, and it's the reason why like so many people have kind of failed at it or have not become as big as a competitively, because you have to have so many people that can back you up like that. But also at the same time, it also gets you thinking like, for something like Uber to get approved and to run the way it does even in the market, who are the people that are ensuring that it does actually operate? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because then that's the other conversation. So it's tricky, because then business goes hand in hand with politics.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Sorry, I want to take a few steps back. Did you guys see the snippet that came out on Twitter where whoever was handling the live stream of Bricks was playing December 4th by Jay-Z accidentally, and that came out on the feed. It was broadcast on SABC.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, we've been in production issues, but it's like whoever was running the stream, he didn't realize after like a whole minute and some, the song is playing. Surely a mistake could be like 5 seconds, 2 seconds. Okay, take it off.
Yeah.
The thing was going, and you're just seeing someone speak, but you're hearing the song in the back. Like, someone's about to lose their job.
Yeah.
This is Bricks.
because
Make that mistake with every other department in South Africa. It's okay. Bricks.
Because that means someone wasn't watching the actual feed.
They said, everything's fine.
Let it run.
Yeah, they were. When you're checking in, when you just tap in and go, oh, it's fine. Everything is fine.
Now you can DM Jay-Z. They know you're in Africa. Here's proof.
Well, he's been here.
Has he? Jay-Z?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for Black is King, but I don't know for concert.
I mean, he'll never do a show here. I mean, why would he do that?
Wait, what?
Our money's not worth anything, right?
Come on, guys.
But he comes and then he goes to the villages to go see the kids he wants to see the kids that they're showing him in the ads on the TV at like back home.
You normally speak so highly of Jay-Z.
No, look, he's
fact.
American. It's not his fault. It really isn't. I mean, he's an incredible gent, but it's not his fault. So yeah, he comes here with his wife and they do. We're gonna Africa.
Just said his wife, Ekariki, a whole matlakala wako Northwest.
The comments are gonna say her name.
Say her name.
I mean, y'all know who that is. It's you guys people. Yeah. I mean, she's also has. Look, I think it's that conversation where you like, just like my respect just dips a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I mean, why? How y'all appropriating the whole thing and then not putting? They haven't done an Africa tour, TK. They haven't been.
Guys, the
She'll
opinions
do a
expressed
world
in this
tour.
podcast.
She'll do a world tour and not come to Africa.
Yeah, but we've had this. Guys, the opinions expressed here are solely
That's
covered.
Why are you
crazy.
getting all
Covered
swag
alone.
all
No,
of a
no,
sudden?
no.
You
Okay, at
didn't care a
first-
few weeks ago.
Exactly, right?
So-
But look, and
I
at
can
first
change.
everything was fine. At first everything was fine because, I mean, she had never touched the sound, so everything was cool. You doing your thing, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Everything's fine.
right.
Then she then appropriated a whole project done by half of the project was done.
Are you referring to the Black is King, Lion King, whatnot?
The Lion King project. That's the Lion King project that she put her name on.
Well, I mean, they
That she
bought
put
the
her
rights to
name
Disney,
on.
right?
No,
I mean, to
she-
that thing.
No, that she put her name on. TK, I'm correcting your information.
Okay.
She put her name on that business,
Mhm.
right? Because that sound is popping. She can't write like that. Wizkid had to write her stuff. She can't write like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna join you in the hate.
No, you
but
don't need to join me, my brother. Beyonce is incredible, right? She's gonna go down in history as one of, whatever.
Mhm.
But facts is facts.
Mhm.
It's like you got to speak about it. It doesn't take away from the fact that what's next to her name is these incredible situations.
Mm.
That's dope.
Mm.
It's like Pablo Escobar. Like, he's one of the greatest businessmen of all time, but he sold drugs, bro.
Mm.
That's facts.
Mm.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So in light of that,
Yeah.
it's the fact that the project was appropriated. Now, here's a moment in time that's happening. You're doing Lion King, you drop a project, we all can hear what it sounds like. It sounds like Africa. You say I'm doing a world tour. Where are you doing this tour?
Okay, good point.
Where?
You just the Black is King. You're not coming here.
Wow.
Okay,
bro.
I get that.
It's fine. Let's leave it.
The only
And this is in a nation that says, if Beyonce says she's coming to Joburg, I'm selling my liver. Wow. Must be a wow.
so this is
I'm
an
sorry.
interesting. Before we can,
I just,
this is a
I don't know how that's going to land, but let it land.
yeah.
It's always something.
Crucify one man.
Week in,
Him.
week out.
No, it's facts.
The
It's
only thing
facts.
I was gonna add to that was, it seems like all of her hit songs aren't written by her. Like the songs she
Yeah.
writes versus the hit songs, there's a difference. It's like the Cardi B. Cardi B's a.
Come on.
It makes
Come
me
on
mad.
now.
Every time I hear a voice on the mic, like, delete this voice immediately.
Oh, wow.
She shouldn't. She's not an artist here. She's the face. She's the packaging. She's not the artist.
Okay, but
Ah,
okay, this
so
is coming
good.
from a
This
very
is funny.
ignorant place, right?
Yeah.
And then what? If I can deliver, you talking about the voice, fine, let's not go there. But like, if I can deliver, but I can't write.
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Then no.
Okay. So here it is, right? It's like, because like Rihanna doesn't write her stuff. Like she writes probably about maybe 30 at most
Okay.
of her songs. That's conversation that she puts out. It's well-known information, whatever. Like, it's the fact that like it's not being put out like that.
Yeah.
Like with the Cardi B conversation, where like the change happened like when Migos switched up. You could kind of tell there was a switch up or whatever, but she's very much like an industry, a label machine type entity or artist,
Okay.
where like they put you through and then they get everybody that's necessary to write around that to write and do whatever the case is, and she becomes like the voice and all of that type of stuff. So the only thing is like in the genres where, especially like, let's go like an Adele will like, yo, shout out to all my 20 writers. That's what's going
Yeah,
on. You know what I'm saying? Kanye will say, shout out to all 25 people that were in studio when we wrote this. You get what I'm saying? But like, that's where this conversation.
So are they
concerned is,
just
like,
not saying anything,
because
or
you
she's
kind of act
pretending
like
to?
you wrote
No, but-
you did that.
No, but is she just not saying like shout out to, or she's saying that she wrote the stuff?
Yeah, it's
It's omitting.
yeah.
It's not saying anything.
But
Yeah.
what's the problem then? You know who you are. Are you paid? Yes.
Yeah.
Therefore,
You know what? Okay.
Fill your CV and go forth, my
Even
child.
though we're off ramping here, it's just
Not over me. You talk about it.
that song that she did with Nicki Minaj and Migos, Motorsport.
Oh yeah.
The story is she deleted her first verse because she heard Nicki's verse,
Of course.
and we all know when Nicki Minaj's, you have to come.
Yeah, right. It's the same like when I walk out of my house and I see my friend is dressed, I'm like, 1 minute. I go back in, I sort myself out so that you are.
Have
You ladies
know,
do that.
Have you done it?
You
no.
change your mind on what you're wearing.
No, because I mean, I step out and I look.
You understand?
Okay. Right?
Come on
Okay,
now.
sharp.
Okay,
Great.
okay.
They must come together, right? But I'm just saying it works the same way, right? That you hear something, and also it's for the end product, right? You know that if you put something swag on there, the whole song is going to tank, right? Or you're going to be talk of the town for the next 5 to 10 years. So rather just say, hold on, scratch it, and then start all over again.
I would have loved to see Cardi's face when she heard Nicki's verse. Like,
I
She
think,
was like, nah.
I think maybe the conversation, like if we really like, okay, what is really the chat? Maybe it's a respect thing, right?
Okay.
Which was the chat like when the Drake writers rumor was going around or whatever, and his whole thing was he never didn't say because it was credited and put forth, and even in the chats, there's chats where he mentions Thingy Miller, just forgot his name, right? But because it was like Drake and he's in the rap pocket, and he comes from the rap pocket, it was like, you shouldn't be. But he sees himself as a musician, an artist that can go into the same direction Adele would go into in order for us to get the Grammy for this project, because I'm trying to get the end product right.
Yeah.
Right? So I think more than anything, it's a respect thing in how you, it's like there's all these people in this room and I'm like, yes, thank you very much. You know, I had to do the podcast. I had to do Before You Weekend. I had to give it to you guys.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
You
it's not.
forget.
There's,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? And that's the tricky part. So now, yes, we know it, but then you can't respect it because of how it's then said,
Okay.
right? In the fact that, are you just saying, okay, come do your job, but I'm taking the credit for it?
yeah.
That's the tricky part. And for me, that's the Beyonce chat.
Yeah, you can hear it when they do their award speeches, because I actually don't hear a lot of credit being taken to the people who put the work in. It's always just the manager and maybe the main executive producer and God. Like, yo, there was 20 writers on this album.
As long as you put God, you are safe.
God is
So-
the umbrella for everyone.
Yeah.
If I said God, it means you, right? What? No.
You included, right? So, I mean, I get the whole debate, because then it's like you're saying, like, look, everybody's paid and all of that kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
get that. You know, it's not like some people in the country that don't pay the people that do their work and whatever the case.
Do you want to say
nah, we can
perhaps?
right past that, but it's not like those people that do that. You get what I'm saying? But at least, yes, they
Yeah.
got paid and stuff. But I think it's a bigger conversation to how everything is presented, especially when you get to a position in your career where you're doing less because you've chimed
Yeah.
out so much,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a thing, but you keep in this narrative that it's you, and it becomes faulty
Yeah.
because of that, and hence I'm like, now you can't respect that,
Yeah.
right? Rather than to say, yo, I'm at a place where the first 10 years I could chime it down, I could hit 3 songs in a night,
Yeah.
I'm in a different pocket now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a mother now, I'm a father now, I've got less creative pockets. So now I'm bringing a lot, I've got people around me, and you know what I'm saying? Like this is how it goes. This person does, etc. type of situation. But for me, I think generally, outside of the specific individuals, just generally when it comes out like that, it's hard for me to respect it.
Yeah,
So,
100%. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Let's quickly bring it back home. Derek Watts, Mr. Carte Blanche, passed away literally yesterday.
The guy who hosts Carte Blanche, the white dude, right?
Yeah,
Damn.
been battling with cancer.
Oh, hectic.
That's crazy. I think everyone has grown up at least seeing him once on the screen. There's no way you can be a South African you've never seen that person's face.
Yeah, you know his face.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like it's a bit weird when you see someone in entertainment or someone who's grown in front of you while you were growing, like just suddenly disappear.
Yeah.
Because like even whether you have a memory of him or not, it's like, oh damn, that's a big tree. That's nothing small. Like when Eusebius passed away, like okay.
When who?
Eusebius McKayser, the journalist / radio presenter. That was also like a big.
Oh
mark,
yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. How, and maybe it's also because the pandemic is making us view death differently or handle death and grief differently. That you don't really have time now. It's we're in a microwave community. It's mourn, cry now. Tomorrow morning, back at work.
Oh yeah.
And it's like we still haven't. What's the word? We still haven't found our groove with that. It's just take the loss and move.
That thing is so hectic. It's like so very hectic, because you're in a stage of the economy where you can't not show up.
Yeah.
To live.
Yeah.
You know, there isn't room, and to such an extent that even people can't create that room for you either. Not even if they wanted to.
Yeah.
They just can't afford to. Yeah, that thing is crazy, bro.
It's crazy. Like
it really.
I think
is.
everyone was talking about it for like an hour on my side. Like when I looked at my phone. After that, we're like, okay, back to bricks, back to the gas explosion in Atchedville, and I forgot what else happened yesterday. It was like, okay, well, we're done with Derek. Like, oof. It's weird how we're handling the idea of death now. I'm wondering how do we handle like life? Is it also just, yo, great, well done, on to the next thing, we got work the next day?
What do you mean? How do you handle life? What do you mean?
Sorry, new birth. When someone,
yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Because the way we handle death now, it's like there is no emotion to it anymore.
Yeah.
It's, yo, sorry, I lost my dad, lost my whoever, or this hero, or this legend, or this celebrity's gone. Next day you're at work.
Yeah.
Are we handling new life like that too?
I would assume the same.
I don't know. I haven't had any celebrations really.
That's interesting.
For like the past month, I think. I've been going to a funeral for every week for the past month.
Wow.
Every single week I've been going to a funeral. And I think only one of them wasn't related to cancer. So, and different stages in people's lives, like it's been parents, it's been young people, it's been like somebody actually said to me, the same person that was trying to ask me out and then, didn't pitch. He's like, every single weekend you at a funeral. So I think he felt some type of way like,
Did he text you afterwards? Is that the conversation after?
Yeah, Shem. We're not gonna.
Okay.
He's fine. You know.
Okay. All right. Now let's leave that. Okay. Let's leave that. Okay. Continue.
Yeah. So every single weekend I've been at a funeral, and the culture of South Africa that has to do with after tears. Like you go to a funeral for after tears. You have no idea what to do if there's no after tears, and if you aren't having after tears, we will make sure that we will park our car, open the boot, and something is happening. So that is how quickly we are done with your mourning. We are now partying. Life,
It's weird.
Yeah, it just goes on. And even like near death situations. I've had a friend who's had a stroke and was in hospital for a whole year, same age as I am. It's just not the same anymore. And I said to another friend of mine that my problem is like I'm not looking forward to my birthday, even though it's such a huge milestone, because I look back and I'm like, what have I done? Like, what have I done here on earth? If God was to say, today's your last day, it's such a problem for me because I've been to, it's another funeral, but I remember they were reading the obituary and there was just nothing. Literally she was born, she went to primary school here. You know when they start filling primary school, high school, worked wherever, and very mediocre, there was just nothing. And I'm like, I don't want to go out like that, I need to leave some sort of mark in some sort of way. But then again, you leave your mark and then people are like, oh man, so sad, RIP whoever, hashtag for like an hour, and then they move on. we just don't have the time anymore. It's not that we don't care. I just think we don't have the time anymore to dwell on something that, is not going to bring us some sort of livelihood or something in some way. So, yeah.
So hectic.
It's a weird space.
It is.
But I'm trying to remember, like, as a kid, when we were kids, was it like that? Or we understood, you should take the time to mourn, like, deal with it, handle that pain, process that pain, and then come back when you're good. Because there's no time to process anything now.
I think we, as a black nation, we still have the time. But because everybody's gone, all the elders are now gone, and it's just us, there's no time to sit on the mattress for the week because somebody passes away, let's say on the Saturday, you know that they're only going to be buried the following Saturday.
Yeah.
There's no time to sit on that mattress. You've got to go identify, like in my case with my mom and my brother, you've got to go identify the body. You've got to organize the whole funeral thing. There's other people around you, elders around you, but you, the one, it's left with you. So there's just no time to sit down and take it all in. I remember I didn't cry for my mom, and my brother passed away the following year. At his funeral, I was crying for my mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like there was just no time for him. It's sort of like back pay kind of thing on your mourning and on your grief, right? So it's become so normal, especially with COVID, where we were just losing people left, right, and center, that it's like, it's the time now. You know, this is what we're facing every single day. So we make it work. Okay, you get up, you bury, and you go to work tomorrow. You just have to deal. There's just no time.
Yeah, it's super crazy.
Yeah, no.
I still think I think it's super wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also, just coming off the chat, it's what's crazy is, like, I don't know if you thought about that, like you becoming the elder in the family.
It's a mess. They're leaving us to everything. It's a mess.
That is so crazy to me, because it's like, but I mean, in the broader spectrum of the conversation, like where family is concerned, and you're this individual where you've kind of like been able to see from the outside, and you're just like, yo, things have been shambles, hey?
Yeah.
And then it's like, you're going to be holding that position. Like, I don't know, do you think about that? Like how?
I think about how I'm going to frustrate everybody, or how I'm really frustrating, because I'm not doing things the way they expected it to be done. Like, there's a way we're doing things. Don't mess us up.
Yeah, they're trying to teach you how to pass. They're trying to teach you how to continue doing what they've been doing. Yeah, I'm also against that.
And I think
in doing it the way it used to be done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I've enjoyed and I've leaned into being the disruptor. Like, no, let me ask those questions. And if you don't have an answer, we're not doing it. Hate me, but you gotta hate me and be broke. So let's move. Let's keep this train moving. Yeah. Like, I know I frustrate my dad a lot, because when he says, tomorrow you're going to be a father, yes, and I'm going to do it differently, and it's like he doesn't. Him and I always have this clash. Like, okay, so we're not going to move on from this. And I like it.
I mean, I have the conversation with my mother as well, where I'm just like, I've watched how my parents have done it. I've watched how the family has done certain things, and my mother and I are close enough to have these conversations about different family dynamics and relationships. And I'm like, yo, you guys have done a number for a long time. And the crazy thing is, like, you've passed it down, and I'm just like, also for the most part, in the name of family, you kind of go through stuff with people because family. Yeah. And I'm like, nah, I'm fine, eh? Yeah. Like, we don't need to do that just because of the title. Like, you guys have carried toxic and unhealthy relationships because of that type of stuff. Yeah. And I think it's also wild. Like, I speak to my cousins about this, where I'm just like where the concept of, in 2023, you're closer to like strangers than you are to your family.
Yeah.
That thing is so crazy.
It's weird. Yeah.
I think when I got older, I realized it, and I'm like, oh damn, and like, this is normal. Like,
there's just too much pain wrapped up in family.
But that's the thing, right?
It's just too much pain.
You all kind of curate the happy moments.
Yeah.
But it's like, even in that, when we're all in the room, if we had to stop and be honest, it would be so dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but we kind of like don't go there. Like,
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. How are you?
But to your points, I think when you say like now when you said we close with our friends more than our family, it's because in my head it's because everyone's trying to find their version of home.
For sure.
And no one's home could provide that for the individual, so they'll go build it with someone else, with a group of people, and they would rather do that than take the time to build that feeling with family, because it's easier to do with a stranger than it is to do with someone you know, whose skeletons you know. It's hard to like look at them past the mistakes or past the pain and go, okay, I can forgive you past that. Let's talk about this. Let's move on to here.
Do you not think it's because like you'd have to first undo so many things before you actually get to that part, like where everybody's good?
There's undoing, and this is like to do with my family. What's up?
What's good?
I know you're watching.
I know you're
Talking to you, Susie.
I won't say names, but like I thought in the beginning, because I wasn't brought up in my biological immediate family until grade 8. So the family that I was brought up in was very like family orientated. We did like weekend braais and family getaways and all of that jazz, and it was amazing. And then I thought that like when I went to the black ones, you know, that I could just like teach them on, guys, all we need to do is just come together. It's that simple. And it's not that simple, because you looked at the parents and what they were going through, and then you're like, okay, cool, the parents are never going to fix this. We can't talk our way out of the mess that they found themselves in. So let's just scrap that. And as cousins, as sisters, as brothers, let's just move on. Until this day, it's just not happening. Like till this day, every single time we go to a funeral, like there's one cousin that I'm very close to, and I'm like, hey, you know, when I hit you up, somebody died. Anyway, see you Saturday? Yeah, sharp, see you Saturday. And then we get there Saturday, guys, we need to like, you know, we need to come together. Ain't gonna happen. So at this point, like I have worked out who my family is, and whether they blood or not, this is family. And I've given everybody, you know, I've told people that if I were to like die today, do not come and speak for 5 years at my funeral. I want music. There's a type of music that I want, and you better play it, because whether or not I can spook you or not, like I want that music played. And you carry on with life.
That conversation, Ellen?
I have.
My mom keeps having that. I think it's weird. Do you talk like that too?
I mean, I've had an idea on how I want my stuff to go, but like when my mom,
what's going on?
when my mom was recently in the hospital, she had to speak like that. Like she said, she was randomly saying on the hospital bed.
I get that.
Yeah,
your mom was in the hospital, my brother. You're sitting here telling us, listen, so when I'm in a situation, I want you to play. No, brother.
I think that should happen. You gotta have that conversation.
You have to. For me, I think I'm a very
clientele.
morbid.
Please sponsor this episode.
We'll do the ads.
We'll do all your ads.
It sounds like I've bobbed to me.
Anyone,
whether you're a father or a mother,
wherever you may be in South Africa, we will collect the body.
It's coming for you.
No, so wrong. No, I think I'm just a naturally very morbid type of person. I'm an either or person. I'm very optimistic, or I'm thinking about death. You know, I've always been that type of person. So death has been, it's always my chat. But for me, I had cancer in 2016.
That's crazy.
Right? And then you don't think, like, because you always think of somebody old or white people. It's never us. No, but it's true.
Guys, that wasn't me this time. Oh, thank God.
That is not, no, that's not you. You go a totally different way. I said it in a different way, because it's white. It's, you know how they say it's white people sickness?
It's too late. No, go.
We've got gout. Black people have got gout. We don't.
With reason. Black people eat too much
It's
meat.
bad diet. That's all.
Yo,
thank you. But that is our thing. That is ours. So I had that. So and I've never been afraid of going into a hospital. I mean, I've never had a major operation before, but I'd never been afraid to go into. But on that day, I was like, I could just never see my kids again. They could never see me again. At the time I was still married, so I'd never see my husband ever again, and that becomes a reality. And now, and after that, I lost a cousin to the same type of cancer that I had. It was, so it's something that is happening every single day. And if you don't have your affairs in order, I mean, this is very grown up and boring, but if you don't have your affairs in order, your family can come in and mess it up. It's not the strangers. It's going to be your family that's going to take everything that you've worked so hard for and just mess everything up. So looking back at my mom's funeral and how that was carried out, I have told people that this is how I want things done. I don't want a repeat of that.
So then let me ask you as this. Oh, wow, time. What's more important for you, the family you create or the family you come from? Also, you guys in the comments, what's more important, the family you create or the family you come from?
I mean, it's such a tricky one for me because my frustration and my, me being upset and whatever passion with family is concerned is for my actual family. Because I just feel like it shouldn't be the way it is. And I can see why it is the way it is as an adult now, like when I look at it. And that's what essentially I was talking about. Like, you have so many things passed down or whatever. So I still feel like your actual family is that important, because for me it's the core of, at the end of the day, nothing can happen that can change that. Yeah. Right? And if it's done right, you build it upon that. You've got this strong relationship that exists somewhere in the world. Yeah. That nothing can break. Whereas you can build family for sure, but at the core of it, there is that space and room where it can be broken, because there's nothing, there isn't anything that's eternal that's holding it. Right? So I think about that too. And I know you can build bonds like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think for us, like, that's one of those kind of conversations, but at the same time, there is that too. You get what I'm saying? So I'm definitely like 50-50 about it.
Really?
I really am. Yeah, okay. Because I'm big on family. I think as a whole concept, as a whole. Yeah.
Ellen, what's more important for you?
I think it's the same thing. I think it was T.D. Jakes who said, seated where I am right now are just generations, within me. It's just, it's my grandmother talking. So I wonder about stuff like that. I know that I get the naughty streak in me and the sense of humor from my mom, but I wonder about people who came before her, and that's coming through who I am right now, So family is very important, but I'm also one for, I try once, I try twice. The third time, if I see that you just don't want to make this thing work, I say, I love you, but from over there. Yeah. And I'm very open to building family, because I attach very easily. So somebody who started out as a friend, you can call me up at any time. And they know themselves, except for when I don't want to take calls, but they can call me up at any time and I'm just there for them, So I think both matters. I can't say solely as a black person, but because I'm black and I understand it, it matters all that much more for us to understand who we are and where we have come from, in order for us to start forging new families. You've got to understand, where you come from.
That's interesting. I've actually never heard people answer it like that. Because in my head, I was going to say the family you create, because you kind of see the patterns you kind of grow out of, and you kind of know how to reinvent the wheel. Like, okay, now I know what to not do, or I've decided when I start my family, ABC won't be allowed in the house. Like, there's little things that you kind of start writing your own rules for your future. But you can't neglect the DNA that's in you. And I think that's the part, like, I think a lot of us, I don't want to say hate about ourselves, but it's just there. Like, if you come from a pattern of, like, in your case, you spoke about the cancer thing. Even in personality aspects, like, oh, maybe I know I'm very what's the word? My face is just serious all the time, and I always used to ignore it. But they said no, like your dad is exactly like that. You can't read. We just think you're pissed 24/7. Like I'm just
Couple
focused.
movie,
I'm listening.
like you're just a bit ugly, you know.
But it's like, yeah, you want to reinvent the wheel, but you can't neglect where you come from. And I guess to your answers, I think I would also have to be like 50-50. Yeah.
Doesn't that work the same with our street names? Where it was Jan van Riebeck Street, and then now it's Mkwenazi Street. And I feel, unless it was Mkwenazi Street and then Jan van Riebeck came and changed it to Jan van Riebeck Street, and we've got to change it back, if there was no street name and then he came and put that name there, right? I believe that my children need to understand the history of, because Jan van Riebeck is part of South African history, you know, whether good or bad, it's part of South African history. So there's certain things that even though you want to start out and forge new families and, you know, new routes and lanes and whatever, you've got to understand that the reason why we have now taken this route is because we come from there, you know. So we can't wipe out all history. Then who are we? You know.
Sorry, I want to throw this in. Do you think? Does history hold a big influence in your future?
Yes.
Okay. Do you?
I think yeah. You can't really run from it.
How so?
I mean, it's not too far back, but let's say, for example, the type of person I was in. Maybe if I change it to, does the past change the way, you know, you write your future or work your way through your future?
Yeah.
And then I say yes, because I was a certain type of way, perhaps in a previous relationship, or I was a certain type of mother, you know. And because I've seen the wrong and the hurt that I've done before, I acknowledge it, and I acknowledge the type of that evil is within me, you know, and then I change and become better. You can't become better if you don't acknowledge the evil.
I apologize, I'm cutting you.
Yeah.
So not your past, but history.
Just history.
Yeah, so this is like family history, country origin history, that type of conversation. That's
it. Definitely.
In what you were saying, that's what I was thinking.
It definitely helps me understand why I do the things that I do.
Okay.
Yeah. In terms of my creative side, the entrepreneurship side, I definitely take after my dad. Because I don't know his family and his lineage, I'm not really sure how far back that goes, but I definitely know that it's from my dad's side. So it helps you understand who you are. It doesn't have to mold you for eternity, but in understanding, you know, where you come from, you definitely can make better choices, I think.
Okay, I get that. I think for me, it fuels my, I was going to say rage. It fuels
your rage.
Yeah, to some degree, because you think about, okay, these people didn't get it right, no matter how close they are to me, or if I know them personally. It kind of says, okay, you kind of have the opportunity now to either fix that. And even though there's no pressure on you to make sure you're the guy who does it, you just are at a better place in your life to play the game you're trying to play. And I think you can't run from whatever has happened. You kind of have to accept it and accept research on how you can figure out your new game plan and execute. Yeah.
So what I'm getting is that it helps you, knowing your history helps you kind of make decisions for your future. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah.
Okay. I ask this question a lot because I partly believe it. I don't know much about my history, and I don't have that much curiosity. I do understand who my father is and my parents, and they have a lot of influence in my life. And my grandparents, I'll go as far as that because I was raised by my grandparents as well. But I think the conversation is like also just beyond that, and like just your family tree, etc. Right? And you know, there is this part of the conversation when you talk about family and you talk about like your family lineage and the tree, etc. and all of that, and just the importance that carries. And I always hear this thing. It's a little bit in the direction, Ellen, you were saying, like knowing all of that information kind of helps you understand yourself and know yourself. And I feel like without that, I still know myself, right? And it's a little bit where like I disagree a little bit because I'm just like, that's like, you know, kind of understanding self. And I don't think if you're an angry person or if you're a witty person or whatever, like understanding if your, you know, great parents or whatever the case is, or like your cousin, distant cousin or whatever was like that, like how does that change where you are right now? You know, and like kind of like influence that a little bit. Because then for me it sounds a little bit more like we go into like a bit of justification of why certain behavior is or why certain things happen. Like it's because such and such and such and such, like I come from it, so therefore I am. And I'm like, okay, that's a bit incorrect. It gives me, and some people might take offense from this, but it gives me like star sign vibes. Like when you're like, I'm a Scorpio, therefore. And I'm like, but that's rubbish, you're toxic. Do you know what I'm saying? I believe like you understanding yourself, like you are you based off like a whole bunch of influence. And yes, your father can be influenced by their father, etc. But you kind of don't need to know like how your great grandfather was for you to understand like the influence that was in the family, and for you to understand like how you comprehend the situation that's happening, right? So kind of just a bit of like, it's just a topic and a conversation like I have quite often, and I have it with my parents as well a little bit, because they always wonder why am I not so curious. And I'm like, I see what the future of this family looks like, and I don't think I don't need to understand the past or the history as far as I've understood it thus far from experience. From my actual experience, from growing up in my grandmother's house, from growing up in Mamelodi and Atteridgeville, from coming up and you seeing my mother struggle to get me through school and my brother. And I don't think I need more than that to understand what the future of this family should be or can look like, you know. But yeah, that's just a whole nother.
Guys, this is an interesting episode this week. It's wholesome chats. We're not saying
we're wholesome people. Okay, in real life we're wholesome people.
We sound like we went home to read books, and now we're coming very sensible now. Like, okay, guys, let's talk about.
Watch us next week.
Watch TK next week.
Okay, we reached the hour. 10 minutes. Okay, just the last 10 minutes.
Okay, I've got 2 points.
Rugby World Cup is coming up.
Shout out.
Springboks whooped the Wales.
Yes.
Whew.
I mean, again, one of the best teams in the world.
It's in our racism to do it.
Wow.
You see?
Sorry.
We shouldn't have gone that last 2 minutes.
Episode.
We were fine. You said you're going to behave.
Congratulations to Yaku. Come on. Come on.
That's
find your words. Find your words.
But my TikTok, I don't know if your guys' TikTok has changed, but I'm only seeing rugby like things on my algorithm now. So they played this snippet of, I think we were facing England, and the caption was, "This is why they're the best team in the world." And they just showed like a 10-minute recording of England trying to get to the try line, and they just couldn't break past the try line. They were like right by there, and the Springboks just held it down.
No, we really.
I was like, oh damn,
really one of the best teams. We're top 2.
I haven't watched a rugby game in years, but like just watching that moment, like, oh damn.
How long have you been trying to get the land? I'm just.
Wow, guys, wholesome episode.
It's that defense. I mean, it's just.
That's good. That's good. Very good. Okay. Other point. Oh, sorry.
I'm so done. I didn't expect that. I didn't see that coming. Not from you, Ellen. Oh my gosh.
Sha'Carri Richardson is back on top of the log. She's the fastest woman in the world. She was the lady with the hair.
The hair, the nails.
Yeah, the hair, the nails. The one who got disqualified because she was found positive with marijuana.
Oh yeah, I love her. She's super dope.
Did you hear her speech after she won? She's like, I've seen the world love me and I've seen the world hate me. Oh, yes, sir. That's not like Malcolm X.
She's
for a
the
second.
fastest woman in the world.
Fastest woman in the world. She's the world champion right now. She won last week. Last
Nice
weekend.
one.
Oh, that's crazy. That's dope.
From like what a fall, and just came back hard.
Because it wasn't even really a fall. People were being super dramatic.
Yeah.
Because Maria Sharapova, do your research. You know, she's still playing. I don't know why she's still playing.
Yeah.
But so wild. She was caught doping, bro, in the game in Wimbledon. They talking about weed? Bruh, that's nothing compared to what's actually... Like, we still talking about Lance Armstrong.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, 7-time world champion. Doping. The whole... Weed. Come on. Come on.
Second last point. Spain won the FIFA Women's World Cup. I think everyone knows that now. I wasn't really following until we
Congratulations to
got
them.
knocked out. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, we're just following because of Banyana.
Yeah.
That's the honest truth.
Yeah.
And then the last point. This is the question I've been wanting to ask.
Wait,
what-
this is your closing question?
This is the closing question.
Okay, wait, before you get there.
Okay.
Guys, like, I was so shook yesterday, half of yesterday. Fyre Festival is back.
Oh, yes.
Like, my man says in the video, I came up with Fyre Festival 2 concept while I was sitting in solitary confinement. Come on, right now.
Man.
That's a real story, my man. He was in solitary confinement. He wrote 50 pages
And
of a concept. We're coming back, Fyre Festival 2. I realized my mistakes.
50 pages of a crime. Okay. Yeah.
I was so done. I couldn't believe it. Like, he's out and he's back. He says, listen.
He lost a lot of weight.
No, most definitely that's what
They
happened
bent
in
him
jail.
over in jail.
Oh, wow. Yo. You see, this last 2 minutes that we're supposed to be done.
But look, you saw like they've used him.
This is when you drop the promo and say, watch till the end. Because what that is going on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but that shit is so crazy. Like he's just back, like nothing happened.
Back like it, yeah.
I think
Sorry. I apologize. I'm curious to see if people are gonna jump on it. That was my
first of all, maybe
last
actually
thought.
pulls it off.
No. There's you pulling off your thing by yourself at your house. Then there's people coming to your house because you said the first time you're gonna do this thing. We pulled up. It was shambles. You are back again after shambles and saying, "I'm doing it again." I'm not curious if you're gonna do it. I'm curious if people are gonna come.
Human
Yeah.
nature. They'll
That's what I'm curious about.
I think people are gonna come.
yeah.
But I think they said tickets were $8,000 or something. I saw some price like that's crazy. Okay, here's the question. What's the worst thing an ex has said to you before a breakup, or the worst thing you've said to an ex before a breakup?
For example,
I can't give examples. Like, what did you hear? What did you say? What did you receive that was like, this one hits, this hurts?
I don't know. I mean, I said she was selfish and she was a narcissist. So I said that.
That's what you said.
Yeah, I told her that.
How do you think it was received?
Not in the nicest of way, because a narcissist thinks they're not a narcissist.
Yeah, we're waiting for the person. You're not sharp. I am a narcissist and I'm proud of it. No, it's not a good thing.
Yeah. I don't recall. But I mean, I don't have like a lot of bad like fallouts and stuff. It was really just only one. And after that, that's the last time I spoke to her for like, I don't know, many years.
I'm still trying to think if I've said or...
I bumped into her recently.
Is it who I'm thinking?
At Woolies.
Okay, we'll talk afterwards. Yeah?
Yeah?
No, I don't have...
No.
What you were gonna now say
it's cool.
who it was?
No, it's cool. Don't worry. She already knows because I said the location.
Ah,
Yeah.
eish.
We don't know if she watches this.
That's
but okay.
a double, like, rejection now. No, I don't have exes. I've got acquaintances. I've got like one, and I dumped him. So
Come on now, somebody.
that's it.
Women do this thing. I think
You must
women
acknowledge
are
your
powerful.
past.
Women are so elite. Like
No,
you
no,
could
no,
just be
no.
an acquaintance, not an ex. At that time, in your books,
You count.
you had a whole thing, and then no, just an acquaintance. We had a vibe. We had just a moment. I have one ex. You are the one ex she's talking about.
He knows exactly who he is. We are divorced now. Everybody else is
Everybody
just an
else,
acquaintance.
you're not an ex.
No, anything can happen. We've
That-
always left on good terms.
Anything can
Like
still
all I
happen.
need to do is like
Pull out.
pull out, and it's a thing.
I probably have said something problematic.
We believe that.
Hey,
We
guys,
know
relax.
that.
Come on.
Yeah.
I just don't know what did I say.
Good question. I'll probably reply proper on
Ish.
on Instagram.
The problem if I say this, people are gonna go back find other videos and go, yeah, I remember when you said this. I think I said this was a mistake. This shouldn't have happened.
Yes.
I think also years later, I'm saying that because, we were kids, we were idiots. We were put in a room and we were told this makes sense. Back then it sounded more personal from a preferential point of view. But I was like, oh no, we were idiots. We were set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably the worst.
The church needs to stop doing that.
They do.
Aish. In other news, I've got a short film in Mall of Africa tonight.
Yes.
If you are watching this, please come buy tickets.
Tonight?
Yes, tonight. It's Friday.
Oh, yes. Yeah, most definitely. Shout out.
Get with the program.
No,
Kelvin.
I'm with it. Don't worry.
Right.
I don't make any of the money, unfortunately, but it's the first time many. I want to be honest and speak about the short film, but maybe,
No. Come through Mall of Africa. We're all going to be there.
7 p.m. tomorrow. 7 well, tonight.
Pull up.
Cool. Take us home.
I think that's the last. You good?
I'm good.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This was dope. Thank you very much for continuing to watch and engage with us. I think the social media engagement is really dope. Continue to like, comment, share, subscribe so that you can get notified when we upload our next episodes. You get what I'm saying? But it's really dope. We really mess with you guys. Thank you so much. We're trying to do like a lot more and just see how we can, get creative with it for you guys, for it to be more interesting. But thank you very much. We appreciate you guys. This was Before Your Weekend, where we talk about the week before it ends. One time.